let's take a look at the latest Joy-Cons from NYXI, the Blitz Ice. Okay, so we check out loads of controllers and Joy-Con alternatives here at 128KB. And if you're not already, go down there and subscribe and like this video. Just do it, do it. But yes, NYXI did send these over for free. And we also have a discount code. So 128KB will save you 10% off on their website. However, I do have to state, despite the fact that they sent these as a sample, we are not swayed by our opinions. You know, our opinions are our own. We are completely honest, and you know, they've just sent them to us. They said, there you go, have a look. So let's crack on. So here we go, here's the box. I mean, it's nothing special. It looks like they're old Joy-Cons on the front, but this isn't actually what they look like. So let's get them open. These look amazing, at least on the website, so let's see them. Oh yeah! So in the box, you get this, which, you know, is your little slidey thing. We'll have a look at that in a bit. We've got a manual and operating instructions. So, you know, there's a manual because these do lots of things. And here we go. Oh no, we get a cable. We get a cable. We get a USB-A to USB-C cable. Sweet. And then this is the main event, the main shebang. And oh yes. Oh yes. Look at that. Look at those. Like, they look amazing. I mean, can I turn them on? Do they have any? Oh, does this one have any life? No. But this one does. And as you can see, it's got RGB LEDs underneath it. So if I hold the turbo button, let's turn it on again. It's not connected to my Switch. It's the first time that I've actually like turned these on. So you can see, there we go. Let's just leave them on that. There is RGB LEDs underneath this shell, and they look really cool. I mean, look at it. They're like transparent, but they've got this kind of cracked design on them, and it's kind of rubbery as well. And also what's different from the other Joy-Cons is the R and L triggers. They're like bumped up, whereas the other ones were just flat. If you've seen our videos of the other Joy-Cons that they do, they're just kind of like flat, whereas these have got this kind of like raised up bit. I don't get it. Like, it's cool because when you've got them in your hands, it's easy to press this rather than kind of like pressing down. You've got these like nice side slanty bits, which are a bit more ergonomic. But yeah, I mean, it's mainly this which is the biggest feature, this whole like cracked design that is like transparent with those RGBs underneath. Again, let's just turn this one on. Oh yeah, there we go. So you can see right there, I mean, there's nothing on the back. On the front, you can change all this. There's different effects as well. Again, this won't last long. No, it's turned off. I'll put them on the Switch soon and we'll just go through the colors, but straight up, I mean, that's nice. Like, that feels really nice because these are kind of like rubbery. They've got kind of like a rubber texture to them, but the grip is amazing. It's much nicer than the straight plastic design of the other ones. So one thing that's really nice to see, because these are RGB, they've got these kind of like guide rings around this, so this design doesn't go up to the joystick at all, like impeding it, which I found on other controllers, other like aftermarket controllers similar to this, where they'd done like a similar design and it would go right up to the joystick, and then it would make the joystick like crunchy. There was risk of the paint like coming off and going inside, causing drift, but not on these, because like I said, there's this kind of like ring around here which stops it, and it feels really smooth. I mean, these joysticks do feel really nice, to be honest. Like, that feels really nice. You've got the buttons on the front, which are flat. They are not like, I don't know how well you'll see this, but they are actually just straight up flat. So there's no bump on these buttons. They are just straight up flat, but in the hand, they actually feel quite nice. They press down absolutely fine. There's no sticking there due to this paint. So they must be a bit thinner around the actual design there. Yeah, it seems like the paint goes all the way up to the buttons, but it's not impeding these at all, which is nice. You've got the normal, you know, home button, which is actually a little home now rather than a circle. So that's different. because before it was like a circle with a home in it, but now you've actually got a little house as a button. That's really cool. I like that. That's really weird. I don't know why I like that, but I like it, okay? You've got USB-C on the bottom of each of these. Now, these do charge via the console, so once you put them on, you can just charge them like normal Joy-Cons. So I'm guessing this is for like firmware updates, but you can charge them via the USB as well. You've got the screenshot button here. You've got the minus, the plus, you've got all your face buttons and good stuff here. But then if we turn them over, there's actually extra buttons. So we do have these back triggers, these back paddles here. We also have a turbo and a macro button as well. So I know for a fact that the turbo button, if you hold that turbo button and then press the left stick in, or hold the right turbo button and press the right stick in, that will cycle through the colors. And then if you hold the turbo and double press that stick in, it will cycle through the effects. We'll go over that in a minute. But then you've got that macro button to assign onto these back paddles here as well, which is really cool to see. I mean, ergonomically, again, these are so much better than the normal Joy-Cons. If I take off the left Joy-Con, I mean, you can see how much bigger this is. So these are huge. So if you've got huge hands, this is going to be the ones for you, because look at that. Look at the ergonomics of that. I mean, the normal Joy-Cons, tiny. This one, absolutely huge. Again, this is pretty much identical to their previous ones with some slight design changes. So obviously you've got this really cool colorway, like this pattern and texture all over it, but they're pretty much identical in terms of the specs, which we'll go over in a second. So let's put them on the console. There we go. That is what it looks like on the Switch OLED. There we go. So it makes it a lot larger, but arguably way more comfortable, like massively more comfortable. Let's turn it on. Oh, boom, look at that. So straight up on in there. Yeah, look at that. Like, that is so much better. And you've got the RGB LEDs just here, like I've said before, but not on the back. But like I said, if you hold the turbo and then click the sticks in, so if I hold this right one and then press it, you can see that it changes, and it also rumbles, like it vibrates to say that the colors have changed. But if I double press, 1, 2, now we've got breathing mode. So you can have them like pulsing in and out, which is cool. And I think that just stays on one color. We'll let it, no, it seems to go around. Or is that the same? Let's just wait and see, shall we? So that's this color. I think it's just gonna stay on the blue. Yeah, it does. It's a bit bluey purpley, I really like it. If I press it in again, what's that doing? Is that cycle? There we go. Then you've got color like breathe cycle. And then you can have it on like RGB mode. So it's pretty much like all of them together. So you've got all the different RGB LEDs lighting up. So you can actually see where the LEDs are in the controller. So, you know, that's one thing to take into consideration. But I think it looks really cool. Like, I think this looks really good because it's got that nice cracked design and those like spotted RGB LEDs instead of the whole controller lighting up. It kind of makes sense because it's got that cracked design. I think it's a nice design choice. It looks cool. And of course you can just turn them off as well. But yeah, that's what these look like on the actual Switch. So these are pretty much exactly the same specs as the previous Joy-Cons that they've done. It's just kind of like a new design. So really quickly, the specs, or the features at least, they have 6-axis gyro, there's 4 stages of rumble, they are wireless, so you can actually use these as individual Joy-Cons, right? So they are wireless. They have these back paddles just here, which are assignable. They have turbo, so you can set turbo to any of these buttons. They also have wake up from sleep. So if your Switch is docked and you're using these wirelessly, well then you can hold the home button and it will wake your Switch up. You don't have to go over and actually press it. So that's pretty much all of the features, I think. But again, this is our like first look and first impressions video. I will do a more detailed review of this in the future, so make sure you're subscribed for that. But let's really quickly see what they look like on this. Okay, so I've found a bit of a problem. So here, I was going to show you how this looks like docked onto this center console, right? So it's just like any other Switch controller, it just slides on up and into this, right? However, because of the paint on the side just here, so you see all the paint just here? Well, I believe that's so thick that it won't actually get onto this. So if I push it, look, it's even like pushing the other one out because it can't like lock in. It's in. There we go. That's what it looks like. But that was incredibly difficult. I actually had to put some force into yanking that controller down so that it would go on the center console. So I think that is because of the paint that's on the back of this, you know, like where this like runner is. Let's try and take it off. Okay, so there we go. I mean, there's no way a child would be able to do that. Like, I actually had to put some force into that. And you can even kind of see, I think, that I've scraped some of that paint away, like on the side just there. There is too much paint on this side. That's what I think it is, at least. And that's why it's not coming down on there. But if you put it on the Switch, it goes on there absolutely fine. Like, that's not a problem. Like, and it slots in absolutely fine. It comes off fine. It still locks into the device, so they're not just gonna like slip off. So yeah, it looks like, for me at least, these are gonna be used not with this center console bit. I would just use them on the Switch. But of course, like I said, I will be doing a full-on review of these in the future. So if you want to see that video, go down there and subscribe. Let me know what you think. These are my first impressions, right? So I'm sure if you bought a pair of these and they didn't fit like that, you could probably contact them and they would do something about it. What are your thoughts? Let me know down in the comments. And if you want to see some other videos, well, check out our review of the other NYXI Joy-Cons that I've already done. So this is my full-blown review just here. Go and watch this video and subscribe. Just go and do it. You know, why not? Why not? Just go do it. Just do it.